It's just a whole different concept that we've been trained, and it's completely false. And that's what causes us in the afterlife to not have riches. Because what about riches in the afterlife? Like, forget just money on the planet. You know, like the movie Gods of Egypt or whatever, they at least showed you that dynamic of in the afterlife, you could be poor in the afterlife. And or you could gain wealth in the afterlife by doing things that really equal value here, and it builds up in the afterlife. There are things happening in this world right now that are pretty intense based on what everybody else thinks is going on in the world. Okay, these people are the way other people live and the lifestyles they're subjected to are so different than the ones that we live every single day. Our complaints are nothing compared to what these people are experiencing. But it's just because we're out of touch with reality that we go on and continue to not realize that helping these people is the biggest key to causing chain reactions on the entire planet. And the truth is, like, you know, when you want to go help different organizations, different kind of people, especially in the US, then you need the license to work with kids. You need the license and all these different stumbling blocks they put in your way. And you're even just trying to help other people, right? But here's the truth. When you use your knowledge and intelligence and mobilize something that is really going to change things, you will not only find the support there from other people, financial support, physical support, skill support. You not only find all that support, you will also find that when you move in on those situations, you've taken now the role of being the real angels, not this bullshit angel from a book, but an angel to where you amass the resources. You got the people in line because you just knew your own intelligence. And I'm going to say this really fast. You just knew your own intelligence and what you were capable of doing. You amassed the people to the cause. They gave you the finances to get the cause done. And you gave the finances or gave the process of being able to get something done for people that are really suffering, women that are really suffering, and people that are really experiencing trauma. And you have that entire pipeline and that process, and everybody knows you did it. That's the key to all of this, because you had then done something that so many people are laying on their asses and laying into their thoughts and complaining and all this stuff that they could have done a long time ago. Even most of them don't even think about this stuff. They're so busy thinking about themselves. But it's just like really showing that you can change things with money. No one's going to say, oh, you can't give us money, or we don't need help. People need that. So what I'm saying is the game is really, the playing field is being leveled, because at least there is something like that, money, where you can go and actually change people's lives from being enslaved or being abused or all these different kind of things. Because, you know, people have already set out to do this, but they need help. They need the help of the rest of the world. It's not one person's responsibility to be fixing everybody's problems, but it may be a few people's responsibility to actually intelligently start making people aware of the solutions. And that's what it's all about. It's like, there's a way that you exist rich beyond this. And there's a way that you exist in poverty beyond this. And that's why rich people, they need to be the most concerned. Because when they leave here, that extreme imbalance is going to balance it out on the other side. So don't be surprised if when we get to the other side, you see the richest people that always kept those resources and were smuggling it all out and never helped anybody, as being the beggars and the people on the street. And that's also time to end that cycle, right? Because then you come in on another cause, and now you're helping the beggars and the people on the street. And those are the same people that were in the last lives living as the royalty. You see what I mean? So this is kind of probably why you have these people living in this kind of situation that you're probably seeing right now, is that all these women were actually a part of the ruling dynasty. It's not like you're going to see all of those women there. You're going to see their great, great, great grandmother sitting in the royal house, doing all the bouginess, treating everybody bad. Now, here's 5 generations later, her daughter's daughter is a slave. This is what we're not seeing. This is why there's a huge disconnect in how people act and what they're doing. They don't understand when you get on the other side, because all this is yin yang, but it's a bigger one. We're experiencing it in our personal lives, yin yang, but it's because the big cycle runs like that. So the big cycle plans to shift everybody from the lives they live now to the opposite life when they get to the other side, unless you get balanced. And balanced are those little islands, just on the yin yang symbol, those little islands that are in those poles that equal the balance in those poles. So if we don't balance out, meaning balance out all this energy and balance out what's going on in our own existence personally, then we'll just live an opposite existence in next life. And it's just so important for us right now to realize the power that we have, but the power that they want to take away from us, which is having us in magical emoji land and not being really seeing how much power and ability that we have is going to cost us, because it doesn't put us in a position to invest in our future. Because you can't always think about doing some things after it should have been done. It has to come from your heart. And that's the end. Like the reality is here, there's a lot of people saying they're coming from their heart, but they're lying to themselves. And it's time to stop lying. It's time to actually do something. It's time to actually make people do something. You see, that part is what you need. Then there's some other parts that you need. But you need to have a purpose. And if people don't move with purpose, it's like the way energy works. It works because it has a purpose, or it sits idle. Like, see these things plugged into this wall. If there's nothing else plugged into that to take power, it's just there were no purpose. It has 25,000 volts coming off that socket right there. But if there's nothing plugged in, because there's no purpose or for it to do anything, and that's what it's like for most people. They have all this power, but they don't have no purpose. Like they say, how amazing is the human being? You could stretch out the intestine, stretch out the DNA across the entire world 3 times. That's enough to finish the cycle. What they're literally saying is you have enough in you to change the entire world. And it's just about, are you moving with purpose? And that's why you have to look at some of this stuff, realize that you're their angel. We need to be the person that she is asking for. Because she said, man, I wish somebody would. And it's not just one person's responsibility. All of humanity needs to move on her behalf and be like, because it's a hostel. It's a bunch of girls there. And it's like somebody's already trying to do it. But the lady's like, all I see is gates and fences. People can break that down just with money. You see what I mean? It doesn't even take there's people already doing it in there. They just need help. And that's what we need to realize. Like, it's not always for us to do every single thing and every single part of it. But know what we do and do it really well. Because like I said, we're living like the kings and queens. Everybody in the Western world, even people in the projects, are living on almost king and queen level compared to these people. And people around the world, they're still slaves. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. It's about realizing that we have this power. And what you're doing, and last but not least, to make it very simple, because I like to simplify things now. They have a place called Mount Meru where the whole goal was to climb to the top. They said that was also your body. We're just climbing up this mountain. And on the top is your own ship. It's your higher self. Every path that a person takes to get up to their mountain top is their own. Not everybody travels down the same path, but they all have the same goal. And on the top is that ship, and it's your oversoul. You need to get inside of that thing, download all the rest of what you need, and come back down that mountain. And that's what we're here for. Come back down that mountain. Because don't fly off. There's nowhere to go. Come back down the mountain with all that power and save these people. That's what you have to realize. That's your purpose. You are God. And that's the truth to this whole thing. And for everybody that's here, especially the people on the level that we're on with this type of intellect, that test has come. It has come because every single thing our ancestors gave us, they wanted to see what we were going to do with it. They can see us right now. We feel so isolated and alone, but this is all about us growing up and getting to the position of power that is who we truly are.